Sakuzeemu nabagambye nti musaba addeko mabega atunule mu maaso. Musajja kaakati alina emyaka 84 okusingako. Yeetaaga okukola pulaani ey'okuwummula ensi n'agireka mu mikono emirungi. Ate eyo pulaani si ye yekka, yaffe ffenna. Alina okutuyita ffenna mu national dialogue, ffenna ne tuyiteesako. Waliwo bye tulina okutereeza okufuna omuntu omupya ng'ekyobululu. Tulina kulowooza ku electoral commission n'atuyamba okukwata obululu, okubisa obululu. Ensonga y'amagye, amagye gali personal nnyo. Olaba agakulira mutabanyi, abalala ba Luganda bwe bityo. Nago tulina okutegeera engeri gye tunaafugamu amagye agali personal, ekyo tukyogereko. N'ebirala bwe bityo tusobole okufuna change etaliimu nduulu ne violence. Thank you for your question. This is not the question I'm thinking about right now. Right now, my mind is on freedom for Dr. Kizza Besigye. We can't have people who just say things are not going well, like these young noob people who say we don't have jobs, we don't have this, and you end up in the court-martial. This is not an environment that is acceptable in Uganda. It's not a political environment where we can have competing ideas in politics. I'm committed to fighting this. And now I'm here to fight for the freedom of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Questions about who will run for president and all that, well, I'm watching to see. I'm watching to see who wants to stand, and if there is a good team to work with, I could. But it's not my primary occupation now. Give me.
Yeah, on social media, for example, we've seen.
They attack my son.
Yeah, they attack your son, they attack your personality. The other day, a gentleman called Adonia was on your case from the work you do. And also to bear in mind that this is just a few months away from the general election. Do you feel it's anything targeted?
I mean, people get personal, and most of that you shrug it off because it's meant to be diversionary. It's meant to distract from the public issues. So most of the time, the best way is to just dismiss it. But sometimes when they are saying things that could hurt your message, then you address them. In the case of Adonia, he was trying to say that two things. One, that I am an international civil servant, therefore I must not comment on this question of my husband and how he was being treated. And I said to him, no. There is no job I have which tells me that I cannot defend my husband. If there was such a job, I would quit. Because the first thing you enter a job to do is to look after your family. You don't abandon your family. Then the second point was saying you are an international civil servant, you must not. No, the second thing he was saying is that Museveni helped you to get a job, therefore you must not comment on Museveni. On that one, that's really, really ridiculous. Because on the one hand, Museveni didn't help me get a job. I applied and I was selected for a job. He is like other presidents who are usually asked to give a no objection. That doesn't mean that if he gives objection, they will refuse. No. America, Sweden, Uganda, Rwanda, a number of countries were asked, this is the person we have chosen, what do you think? You just say yes, you can't say no. So even if it was that, Besigye Byanyima, you do not buy me. No, I am in my job because I was put in the job because I was valued for who I am, what I bring, the perspectives I have, the networks I have, the skills I have. So you can't come to me and this is how he runs the system in Uganda. This is not how he runs other people. I am my own person and I give my views. And even if he had ever gotten me a job, which is not true, he would not buy my voice. My voice is my voice, my views are my views. So I dismiss that, and I don't want to go back into those stories because they are diversionary, totally diversionary. I'm Winnie Byanyima with my own mind, doing a global job in the best possible way I can, and allowed that space to defend my husband, not to become a political leader here or to take a side, but to defend my husband. I do, and I will. Let this case start in court, and I will also show you, I will also tell you here how many times they've tried to kill Besigye and failed. I didn't hear that, but what I heard was Andrew Mwenda last night. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, that for him, he was in a very emotional state, and his emotion seems to be that he was so aggrieved that Besigye wanted to kill Museveni. That if it was him, he would have killed Besigye in Kenya. But Mwenda saying he would have killed Besigye. I don't know whether this is even, I don't know whether we should even go to the police and notify the police that there's someone with intent to kill. I found it really shocking. But thank God he was not killed. Thank God he was brought here, and we are going to go to a civilian court. But all this nastiness, I have to tell you, is so unfortunate for all of us in Uganda. We need a country that is managed in a civil way, where politics is managed well, people come in and people come out, and we, the rest of the people, just benefit from good decisions. This is what's happening in other countries. The other day in Namibia, my friend, Netumbo Ndaitwa, a woman, was elected president. She hasn't yet taken over. She's waiting for inauguration. But there was no big fuss. She won the election. She's going to be named. She's the first woman to be the president. No fuss. Didn't even make news here. The other day in Ghana, the government lost. The opposition leader won. It wasn't big news because it all goes smoothly, properly, according to the law. Here, this refusal to respect institutions, the Constitution, this I am going to rule because I have the army, because I am strong, is costing us so much. All these kids you see, we have no jobs, we have no jobs. Where will they get them from if Uganda is not stable? If everybody is waiting for the person who will shoot out Museveni and bring his own army, build his own army, who is going to bring their money here and start big businesses? I was recently at the World Economic Forum in Davos. I was in a room with presidents, prime ministers, ministers of finance, and central bank governors. And in this meeting, business people were there, those who own companies that are global. Somebody like the head of Heineken beer was there. Someone from Google was there. So these companies were talking about how they are investing in Africa. All of them kept mentioning, now you could see where is money going in Africa. They spoke about South Africa. They spoke about Ghana. They spoke about Kenya. And they spoke about Ethiopia. and even Rwanda, 5 countries. Not one single person mentioned Uganda. You can see that investment flows are going to countries that are relatively free, where the rule of law works, where there's predictability in transitions. This is where money goes. This is where jobs are created. Not here, where we are all waiting for another war or some coup or yeah. So this violence in politics costs ordinary people their jobs. We need elections. We need elections, but we need good elections, elections that are meaningful, where people have a real choice, where people's votes are not stolen and bribery and all of that. We need elections. And we need to start now talking about the quality of those elections. You see, we have moved to a point where we have a totalitarian, a leader who doesn't distinguish himself from the law. Everything, he tells every institution to do what he wants. He is the law. He has made himself the law. Electoral Commission must deliver what he wants. Courts have to give him what he wants. Parliament must make the laws he wants. He's substituted himself for the law. This is the situation Uganda is in. But to rescue it, we have to keep pushing back against his takeover of key institutions. So we will go into an election like that, but fighting to stop him from manipulating it. We cannot do without them.